Where are you from originally?
So I'm from a little town called Snyder in West Texas. It's hard. I usually on my cell phone I just carry a map of Texas with me, because so when people ask, I really just point. It's like 80 miles south of Lubbock, where Texas Tech is. 80 miles east of Midland, Odessa, where Friday Night Lights, the movie, is from.
Oh, yeah.
80 miles north of like Abilene, which is kind of some West Texas, but it's in the middle of nowhere. But it's a charming little town. But if you ever drive through there, it's even sometimes I'm like, I can't believe I grew up here, man. I really can't. It's just so West Texas, Yeah. I went on Thanksgiving Day. We were driving through, and there's two turkeys in the middle of town, walking to town square on Thanksgiving Day, and I was just remember thinking, like, yeah, anywhere else that would be weird, but that is so normal here. Just two turkeys walking down the street.
How long were you there before you decided, the film industry was a way you wanted to go?
18, man. 18 years in Snyder, and then just this year celebrated 20 years pretty much in Burbank, Toluca Lake.
Yeah.
So
congratulations, man.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, cheers to us all for getting for coming out to LA. That's half the battle, right?
That's
For
it.
sure.
It is a great town. It's just once you realize this town owes you nothing,
Yep.
then you can kind of maybe participate in it, you know?
Early on, I think one of the first things I heard was, they said if you can make it a year in LA, there's a pretty good chance you can make it.
Or in anything.
Yeah.
A lot of people are here for that 10-year mark and then go off and just, completely have like a giant other company in Florida or something else. And I don't know, there's something about sticking to LA, though, if you can. Maybe you're going to win an Emmy or Academy Award one day, or a comic book award.
Oh, yeah. Love that.
So what about you guys? I mean, do you still like, your time in LA, or how do you feel about it these days?
It's a great question. I moved here to go to film school at USC. That was my dream, and that was an amazing experience, and joined a fraternity there at USC. I was the only film major in my fraternity.
What was your fraternity?
SAE.
Oh, okay. I wasn't a Sigma Chi, but I know the handshake.
Right.
So Sigma Chi will shoot me for that now, for knowing it.
No, we won't reveal the secrets.
Cut that out.
Absolutely.
You guys should do it right here and just blur it out on the camera.
And then, I started working in production and just stayed and kept working in production and following the dream. And, first feature film produced when I was 27, about 6 years ago.
So young, too, yeah.
Yeah. But that's kind of my
Did I overhear you
relationship.
say that you get to work on Ocean's 11 as a young man?
I worked on Ocean's 13 as a PA.
Wow. I mean, it's not a bad way to jumpstart your your film school, right?
It was trial by fire, for sure. I didn't do the Vegas stuff because I was young, but I did the Warner Brothers on the lot stuff, which, is luckily more of the, quote, easy stuff versus being on location or something.
Dude, what a cool-ass movie just to, like, kind of sit back and be a fly on the wall even and just learn,
100%. That was my goal, right? Is not mess anything up and just observe.
Don't get kicked off a set.
Totally. 100%.
How was it? I know we're here for you. I just got asked. But
I'm like asking you guys questions.
Yeah, but for being on 13, how was that feeling? Because I can imagine when you're making a film for the first time, nobody really knows if it's gonna, you have an idea, but you don't really know if it's gonna be successful or not. They already had massive success with 11 and 12, so was there like a camaraderie you noticed between the guys, or was there like everyone was kind of relaxed?
Yeah, was the set like
or,
easygoing at that point?
I would say definitely easygoing for sure. A lot of the actors and actresses were, established and had their careers going, and, they loved working together. I think that was a big part of it too, was they just enjoyed it, and Clooney would play basketball at lunch every day, and anyone on the crew was invited, and, definitely very relaxed environment. And
Was it the project? I'm sure we all have the project that was kind of like the one that like hooked us, so to speak, the hook never came out. Was that kind of something where you're like at that early age, you saw that and you're like, all right, I'm going to be in the movie business forever. Even if I don't know what I'm going to be doing forever, but I have to be in this industry forever.
I mean, I think you nailed it, right? Like that was more insightful than my version of it for sure. I think that's totally true. I think you nailed, like, seen that was like, this is what I want to do, and
Yeah.
I'll get up at 4 a.m. every day to do it. Right?
Yeah, because you saw something there, right? That you probably it's hard to explain. What was yours?
Yeah, dude. Funny enough, man, I just grew up super broke, and my dream from a young kid was just to be in film and TV.
Yeah.
And I really had no background in acting besides a play I did when I was like 12 in 8th grade or something.
Yeah.
But I did this. I got booked to do this music video randomly, and it sounds so funny, but it was very. It was like almost like a 50s boxer or something like that, and it was this MTV music video with this new band that they were blowing up, and I had nothing, dude.
Yeah.
I had nothing to my name. We shot it here in LA. It was the most amazing experience. And I was like, I don't even know what I'm doing, but I have to do this for the rest of my life.
Yeah, right.
I have to.
You're like, I don't know what this was, but it was way more important than that play.
Yeah. But exactly. The funny thing about it too, though, is that it got picked up and it was played in every single gym, every single place you could think of constantly for like a year. So everybody that was like a hater of mine or a doubt, you know, or naysayer, whatever it is, I'm like, oh yeah, that's me. Have fun finishing your set, dude. Like,
you know, that's what it is. It's like once you do it, it is that kind of the footprints you leave behind, and they can never really be, you know, it can never go away. You did it, you know.
Yeah.
I think Tom Hanks was like, these movies, they live forever, you know.
Yeah, man. Well, what was yours?
You know, I was really lucky because, like I said, I grew up in West Texas, rural West Texas. But there was a gentleman, a few actors came out of my hometown. A guy named Powers Booth, who was like Curly Bill Brocious and Tombstone, and an amazing actor, won an Emmy. He's kind of like, you know, the biggest guy to really come out of Snyder. Kevin Alejandro, as of recent, and some other guys are from there. But the guy named Barry Tubb, who played Wolfman in the original Top Gun, and had done several movies in the 80s, but I think Top Gun was probably the biggest one, you know, still is.
Sure.
But he had been friends with like Julia Roberts and Bruce Willis and all these people growing up. And when I was 16, he did a movie in my hometown and brought it there. And it just all of a sudden, you know, the town was getting flooded with movie stars to come do this essentially movie that was kind of like a Free Willy about a boy and his cow instead of boy and his whale.
Oh, wow.
There in West Texas. But, it was Joey Lauren Adams from Big Daddy with Adam Sandler that would just come out recently. Emma Roberts, you know, as a young kid was in it. She used to bash me in the head with Barbie dolls. And I'll see her in town every once in a while, too. And it's just funny because, like, you know, we knew each other when we were kids.
That's cool.
But I was like 16 getting to work on this movie. And, you know, I had to go back to high school that next year. And nobody would believe me that, like, I had got to, like, drive Julia Roberts around because nobody was doing that. I got to meet like Bruce Willis and George Strait and, you know, Natalie Maines from the Dixie Chicks and just all these just amazing, huge celebrities, you know, especially, you know, Julia Roberts, my God, at that time in the 90s. So that was something where it was like not only film school for me, but just like getting to, you know, see that life, you know, that was so distant and fantasy actually kind of become real. And you just get lucky enough where it winds up in your hometown where nothing happens. So hats off to Barry Tubb for essentially, you know, bringing that into to that world where whoever it affected, it damn sure affected me. And I'm still out here in LA trying to crank away movies. So it's, I guess, you know, that was the start and the hook that got me for sure.
That really is an incredible story. That's like...
For Snyder, it's pretty incredible.
Yeah, yeah. And to think of how many films you've helped facilitate, you know, over the years as well, right? Like to have that impact and start in that small, that's crazy. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to drop a like if you enjoyed the video.
And subscribe and hit the bell for a whole lot more to come.